I hate to burst your bubble, but today we're going to be fighting the most tragic robot master of them all, Bubbleman. And I'm not just saying that because of the Hydain song. No, unfortunately for Bubbleman, his life is a bit of a... I don't want to say joke because that sounds rude, but he can't actually walk on land. All he can do is just hop around when he's on land, and go away, frog! Seriously, what a jerk. But anyway, if that wasn't bad enough, upon seeing this, Wiley laughed at him. Yeah, he's the one that screws up designing a robot, but no, apparently it's hilarious. So yeah, unfortunately, Bubbleman doesn't have the best of lives, so, I do feel a bit bad for him. He also hates pollution because, of course, he is an underwater robot, and speaking of underwater, we're now in water, and unlike Mega Man 1, this is an actual little stage mechanic. It's not just background, but it's actually a pretty good mechanic because it works well. You do have a much higher jump, and, of course, that does bring up the danger of jumping into the ceiling where there are a lot of spikes. So yeah, you do have a lot of room to move around, and you do have a little room to play around with your jump before this bit, where you definitely have to control yourself a bit better. But yeah, once you get to this section, you gotta make sure you keep that jumping under control. But yeah, it is actually a pretty good underwater section, just because it actually doesn't screw with your movement too much, and in fact improves it. But of course, that at the same time also creates another obstacle, so honestly, I've always been fond of Mega Man underwater stages. They're usually pretty good. Usually. You know, it can go up and down. There are a lot of them, so it differs. I'm not a fan of these frogs, though. The frogs that puke out smaller frogs, which of course are very small and thus hard to hit. And of course, they're quick little guys, and they just jump around like nobody's business. As for the other enemies, well, there are those silly crabs just kind of drifting down the waterfall. I like these guys. The hermit crabs aren't too bad, and there were also those Metroids. No one but the frogs, though, are really all that bad. Oop! Just slide across the floor, no problem. So, next we have Bubbleman. He's got spikes on his ceiling, which I guess could potentially be dangerous, because it would be ideal to just jump all the way up to the ceiling to avoid all his shots. He does fire pretty quickly, and his shots are pretty difficult to see. His normal buster shots, not the bubbles. The bubbles can be a little difficult to dodge just because they're very close together, but honestly they're not that bad. And he's done. You'll also notice that his projectiles disappear, so that's another improvement from Mega Man 1. Hooray! And we just kind of finish in the corner over there. There he goes. Bye, Mega Man. Also, I love that he just kind of looks very angry whenever he gets a weapon. Just got his shoulders up like he's all mad and keeping it in. Anyway, that was the end of Bubbleman. He truly was the most tragic robot master.